All right, pictures on your screen are of Jacqueline Fernandez, the Bollywood actor, reaching the office of the Economic Offences Cell of the Delhi Police. There you can see it, Jacqueline Fernandez arriving at the Economic Offences Wing in New Delhi. She will face questioning by the investigation agency in charges that have been laid out against her. Let me go back to Harsha. We're going to play out those pictures for you in just a bit once again. So that, of course, was Jacqueline Fernandez arriving for questioning. Harsha, if I can come back to you on this one. Harsha, tell us what is happening over there. We just saw her moving inside.
Exactly, Nupur. Jacqueline Fernandez has just reached EOW office, Economic Offences Wing here in Delhi at Mandir Marg Way. And right now, I'll show you the visuals from Economic Offences Wing. Right now, she has reached along with her lawyer here, and the questioning will start in links with the alleged scam and links with the Sukesh Chandrasekhar con man. How did she receive gifts? And the set of almost 50 questions, Nupur, has been prepared for Jacqueline Fernandez because literally she used the proceeds of crime and valuable gifts for herself and for her family members, relatives in India as well as in abroad, which amounts to the offence of section 3 of the PMLA Act of money laundering. And in the entire case today, Economic Offences Wing is going to question Jacqueline Fernandez. The time which was given to her, Nupur, was of 11 a.m. but certainly she has been just now at 11:20. Pinky Rani is already here. Pinky Rani is that source through which conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar sent the gifts to Jacqueline Fernandez, and Pinky Rani is also the person who had set up the meeting of Jacqueline Fernandez.
Of course, Harsha, she will be questioned in this. She's been named in the supplementary charge sheet as a co-accused. Jacqueline Fernandez, of course, over there making her way to face questioning by the Delhi Police's Economic Offences Wing. In the supplementary charge sheet that's been filed by the Economic Offences Wing, she's been named as a co-accused in the conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar's case. Harsha, back with us. Harsha, give us a sense of what's happening over there. I think she's accompanied by her lawyer as well. And there was Pinky Tejwani also who went inside earlier.
Exactly, Nupur. Jacqueline Fernandez came along with her lawyer. Jacqueline Fernandez reached Delhi yesterday only, and according to Delhi police officials, they have asked Jacqueline Fernandez to stay in Delhi for almost a day or two because she could be called again and again for interrogation. And let me tell you, Nupur, Enforcement Directorate has registered a supplementary charge sheet where Jacqueline Fernandez have been named as an accused, where she already knew about Sukesh Chandrasekhar, but she overlooked his criminal past, his criminal activities, and was linked with the financial transactions with him. And EOW, Economic Offences Wing, which comes under Delhi Police, is today questioning Jacqueline Fernandez. On September 2nd, ED officials had called Noora Fateh, where Noora Fateh was questioned for more than 8 hours. And today, Economic Offences Wing will interrogate Jacqueline Fernandez. Pinky Rani has also been called today, Nupur, because she is a very important person in between Sukesh Chandrasekhar and Jacqueline Fernandez. She was the one person who had set up the meeting between Jacqueline Fernandez and conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. In fact, the gifts which was sent to Jacqueline Fernandez by conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar while he was in Tihar jail, Pinky Rani was the key person who had sent the gifts from the side of Sukesh Chandrasekhar and arranged the entire meeting between Jacqueline and Sukesh Chandrasekhar. So today, when she has been called here, both of them will be made to sit in the questioning room together, and the set of questions will be asked for both of them. We are getting to know that the EWO wing has prepared a set of almost 50 questions, which is linked to how Jacqueline met Sukesh Chandrasekhar, how did she contact Sukesh Chandrasekhar in that period where Sukesh Chandrasekhar was posing as a government official from inside Tihar jail. At that time, how did she meet, and what were the gifts that she received from conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar? Because there were so many valuable and luxurious gifts which Jacqueline Fernandez had received from conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar, be it bags, be it luxury handsets, be it luxurious vehicles, cars, be it the pets, and not only Jacqueline Fernandez, but Jacqueline Fernandez used these proceeds of crime and valuable gifts for using it for herself and for her family member in abroad as well. So right now, Nupur, the very important interrogation day today is as Jacqueline will be questioned in this entire thing. And one more thing, when ED names in its supplementary charge sheet Jacqueline Fernandez as an accused, where ED clearly stated that she knew about Sukesh Chandrasekhar and she overlooked his criminal activities. At that time, Jacqueline Fernandez lawyer stated the claims which were made by Jacqueline Fernandez was that she is being framed in this entire matter. The partiality is being done with him because all the other actresses also met Sukesh Chandrasekhar and had received luxurious and valuable gifts from conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. These are the claims which was being made by Jacqueline Fernandez, but clearly a few months back we also saw the sequence of pictures, photographs and videos in their own personal space of Sukesh Chandrasekhar and Jacqueline Fernandez as well. And there are CDR, there are call records, there are different, so many things where it is being proved that Jacqueline Fernandez knew everything about Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Though her lawyer and she have been defending herself by saying that there were so many actresses who had received, she is being framed in this entire matter and she was not the first person who had met Sukesh Chandrasekhar.
All right, Harsha, stay with us. We're going to come back to you. Shavan Sen also joining us from the Delhi newsroom right now. Shavan, we just saw those pictures of Jacqueline Fernandez accompanied by her lawyer going inside to face questioning by the EO. Give us a sense of how this questioning is looking like and how it's going to pan out.
Well, Nupur, this questioning comes at a time when she's already been named as a co-accused in the case that has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, the Economic Offences Wing would be largely looking at three aspects. One, with regards to her association with Sukesh Chandrasekhar and the period, because the period becomes extremely important. Second is with regards to meetings that have taken place between Sukesh Chandrasekhar and Jacqueline Fernandez. When was it? Was it when he was granted a parole? Because if you go by the statement that has been given by Jacqueline Fernandez to the Enforcement Directorate, it does appear that there have been two meetings that have taken place between Jacqueline Fernandez and Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and this was when he was granted the parole. And why it becomes important? Because remember, the allegation that has been leveled here is that Sukesh Chandrasekhar has met Bollywood actors when he was inside Tihar jail, when he was lodged inside the Tihar jail. So who exactly was responsible for it? Because as per the charge sheet that has been filed by the Economic Offences Wing, certain Tihar jail officials were bribed by Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and it was they who allowed Sukesh Chandrasekhar to carry on with the extortion racket. Now, so that's one aspect that they go to look at. The second important aspect is that whether at all she was aware of the fact that he was running an extortion racket. Because if you go by what the Enforcement Directorate had to say, she had essentially got expensive gifts, not just her, but even her family members had got gifts from Sukesh Chandrasekhar, be it her brother or for that matter sister or even parents. All of them received gifts from Sukesh Chandrasekhar, which the Enforcement Directorate certainly believes that this is from the proceeds of crime. Now, what exactly is the extortion racket are we talking about? The 200 crore extortion racket. Now, with the help of certain technology, Sukesh Chandrasekhar had basically morphed his voice and he had made a call impersonating someone from the Union Hope Ministry, made a call to a family member of a top businessman, and then started extorting money out of the businessman's family members. Now, as far as Jacqueline Fernandez is concerned, it is understood that Sukesh Chandrasekhar wanted to meet Jacqueline Fernandez, and he had gotten in touch with Jacqueline Fernandez's hairstylist. There was that first attempt that was made, which was rejected by Jacqueline Fernandez. Jacqueline Fernandez, in fact, as per the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet, did not want to meet Sukesh Chandrasekhar. It was only after he started putting pressure on the hairstylist, saying that you need to communicate the fact that this was a person who was very close to the Union Home Minister, and the fact that it was important for the government that she responds. And that is the reason why it turns out that when messages were sent, WhatsApp messages when were sent by Sukesh Chandrasekhar to Jacqueline Fernandez on her personal mobile number, she then started responding to it. Thereafter, we are not very sure with respect to the fact that how exactly the relationship flourished. That is something that the agencies would be looking at, because that is the very period when the extortion racket was also taking place. Whether at all she was aware or not is something that's going to be important for the Economic Offences Wing. Because for the Enforcement Directorate, they were largely concerned about the proceeds of crime. But how exactly was the money utilized by Sukesh Chandrasekhar? It turns out that Sukesh Chandrasekhar had also given money to a filmmaker, even to a writer that Jacqueline Fernandez was very interested in, because she was interested in a web series to be created, and that is the reason why hard cash was actually given to one of the writers here based out of the national capital. So what's important to point out here is that the association is important. Whether at all she was aware of the extortion racket is also very important for the investigation. And thirdly, with respect to how long was the association, because the time period becomes extremely crucial for this entire investigation.
So the time period becomes extremely crucial, as you tell us. Well, as you said, Jacqueline Fernandez by association. Well, there's lots of incriminating evidence as of now, and it is being said, although, well, we'll have to go into that later. Shravan, we'll be coming back to you for more, and Harsha. Well, Shravan, when we talk about, well, by association, it's also being said that she knew that, the gifts she was receiving were from the proceeds of crime. How strong does that make the ED and the Enforcement Economic Offences Wing? How strong does it make their case against her?
Well, Rukma, that is for the court to decide whether at all the material evidence that has been provided by the Enforcement Directorate, does that hold any value, or as Jacqueline Fernandez's lawyers have been claiming all this while, the fact that she shouldn't have been treated as an accused, she should have been treated as a victim. The reason being that she wasn't really aware that Sukesh Chandrasekhar was a con man. After all, she had received a call where he was impersonating as someone who was important in the political circles, and that is the reason why he's essentially responded. So if you go by the claims that have been made by the lawyers, they are saying that they were willing to pay back whatever money was spent on her, or for that matter, the gifts that she has essentially received. So she was willing to pay that money back. So if she's willing to do so, where exactly is the proceeds of crime? Now, that's simply the claim that has been made by Jacqueline Fernandez. But the larger issue here is about her association with Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and the fact that this was during the period that he was already lodged in the jail. This is the period when he was out on parole. So all that put together, these are certain aspects which becomes extremely important for the Economic Offences Wing also. For the Enforcement Directorate, it was largely to look into the proceeds of crime, which they have been able to establish. The fact that there were expensive gifts that were received not just by her, but also her family members, which includes her sister, brother in Australia, parents in Bahrain. They had received property, they had received a loan, they had received luxury cars from Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and also the fact that there are writers. There's one particular writer who had received money here at the national capital for a web series that Jacqueline Fernandez was very keen to do. In fact, the writer was also called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. A statement was recorded in which there was an admission that was made that yes, the writer had received the money. The fact that this was dropped at a doorstep in the national capital region. All that put together, what's very important to underscore is the fact that, for the Economic Offences Wing, it's going to be important to find out whether at all certain other officials were behind this, because all of this was happening. A racket that was, flourishing from inside the jail, and that's also a huge concern. One of the reasons why you see already under the Makoka charge sheet has already been filed against certain Tihar jail officials.
Well, Shravan, stay with us. We'll be coming back to you as more updates are coming in on this story. So it's a major breaking story. Jacqueline Fernandez summoned in the case involving Sukesh Chandrasekhar, and well, it's amounting to crores of rupees here. It's said that, as Shravan was telling us, gifts worth nearly 6 crore rupees, as we had known earlier. Shravan and Harsha with us on this story.